Welcome back, game design students, focusing on the shooter pathway. In this video, that should be a lot shorter than the last one, I want to show you how we can use some of these toggleable objects to our advantage in a game like this. Something I might do in my scene here is think about creating another plane. And I'm going to move this plane back over here and stick it kind of in behind here in a spot where my player might not be able to reach. Let's make this a little bit narrower. Maybe this is like the path moving forward, and there's no way the player can actually get around to this with this wall in the way. And we had this toggleable thing that was present before. And so how do we work with this? Well, this toggler, if you remember, it's something I drop into my scene, dropped in a weird spot because I just trying to drop it off in the distance. I'm going to drop it on here instead. Let's pull it up. And maybe this toggler is something that I kind of stick off to where the player might have to kind of be paying attention to notice it a little bit more. Maybe kind of back over here, off in the distance. And just have it floating up in space here. So this toggler is kind of just floating around. And it has this toggle object script on it, meaning that I can actually take this wall and put it onto the toggler. And I'm going to say start on, because I want this wall to be on when the game begins, when this level begins, blocking my progress for me to be able to get around. Can't do anything here, but now this toggler, if I shoot it, the wall's gone and I have a way to proceed forward. So these togglers are meant to be able to add kind of dynamic content to things. Maybe you want to make a maze where you have to find a toggler to unlock a next section of it. Or maybe you want to have a bit of a series of walls with a gauntlet of enemies. You have to get around a corner to shoot the toggler before you can make it through a section. Or maybe you want to make a bit of a puzzle with different togglers toggling different things on and off overall. Let me show you something extra clever that you could be thinking about doing. I'm going to add another toggler to this, whose job it is to toggle the toggler. Watch this. So this toggler here, I'm going to call this toggler 2. I'm going to set its toggle to be toggle 1. Watch this. I'm going to have it start off. Now when I start my game, the toggler for the wall isn't there. It's off. But this toggler is present. If I shoot this toggler, it turns on this one, which then can toggle that wall off. So see how this one turns on and off when I shoot it? So I can chain these togglers together to create some kind of pretty interesting dynamic content. Now, this toggler isn't very pretty. Maybe you want to make something a bit more custom. I don't know. Maybe you have your own asset you import that's a beautiful switch or a cool fantastical device. I'm just going to drop in a capsule here. I'm going to have it floating off in the distance. And let's have this capsule also be a toggler. So how do I make this a toggler? Well, togglers are pretty simple. Again, the strategy, take a look at one that's working and try to study it to get a sense of how it needs to work. It needs a collider and it needs a toggle object script. So this already has a capsule collider. Perfect. And only other thing it needs is a toggle object script right here. And this one it allows me to choose the on and off color. Maybe I'll make the on color red, the off color pink. And what is this going to toggle? Well, maybe I want to have like a little cheeky system in my game where I have this toggler actually be able to toggle off an enemy, so I can kind of surprise the player with a little trick. So I'm going to have this toggler, this enemy, be the object that gets toggled on and off. I'm going to have it start off. So I've made my own custom visual and just attach the toggler functionality to it. See, this enemy isn't here right now, and I go, hey, what does this do? Oh no, I've spawned more trouble for me. So there's something to be thinking about. You can actually make your own toggler in a pretty straightforward manner. Next feature in the next video. See you then.